Recording in progress. Thank God. All right. By now, everybody has seen the photos that I put up of you and me, you laying in the hospital bed. It's not a joke. I've been like so stressed out. Look at me. I look so old. I did a TV shoot yesterday and they took the pictures and I was so old. The wrinkles were so deep because of you.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So obviously people are very concerned. They want to know. I mean, Schman.
Not everyone who listens to your podcast checks your social media. So do you want to give them?
Yes, I'll set up and give them context. Okay. So a week ago, we were, all right, let's even back up before that. All right. Let's give this whole thing context and back up before that. First of all, and I think that my listeners are going to be on my side finally, because they usually defend Schman. But I'm going to say 3 weeks ago, you came to me and you said, I don't want you to be alarmed. But I'm wearing this heart monitor because I've been having these heart flutters. I called the cardiologist. I went to see a cardiologist and they've put on, what was it called?
I don't recall what it was, but it was a monitor to track the heart rate to better identify what the issue might be. It's basically like an EKG, a wearable EKG that you press every time you're having an episode, so it could record what your heart was doing.
What was happening to you? Describe what was happening to you.
So about 3 weeks ago, I noticed that my heart would flutter and I would feel like a rumble in my heart, and then it would usually subside within a couple seconds. So it would rapidly beat and then it would settle down.
And did it feel like you couldn't catch your breath, or your chest was tight, or your arm ached? It didn't feel like a heart attack. It just felt like this flutter,
like a rapid heartbeat. So it would flutter for a few seconds, and then there were a few occasions where, as it would flutter, I would become lightheaded. Okay. So after a couple of days, I made an appointment with a cardiologist. Went to go see the cardiologist. He affixed me with this monitor. That was, a week into the episode starting.
Yeah, no, you came out. And by the way, there was mistake number one. You went to the car. Can I just ask you, by the way, I don't want to give you too hard of a time because obviously you've been
too late
recovering from a major heart operation. But why would you be going to the doctor and having these episodes for a week without telling me?
I wanted to know more about what was taking place before I told you, so before you would freak out and panic, which is what you would do, and you kind of did. So
we've been spending thousands of dollars on a therapist for the past 6 years. And
it's been great showing up on this podcast. Good luck telling the rest of the story.
See, I can never question anything he does. Me, I get all kinds of questions. I get all kinds of, Sarah this, Sarah that. But, the minute I put it back on you, it's always, I think you're gaslighting.
I like knowing more. I like having details and info before sharing it all.
My listeners are going to be on my side.
Possibly. Good.
Do you ever go to the doctor without telling your spouse first? I say, no, you should have clued me in. I can handle it. That's what our therapist always says.
You just told me that you couldn't, you were put through the ringer over the last week.
I was. Okay, so you get this heart monitor.
Heart monitor.
I see the heart monitor. Okay, you tell me about this. And to be honest, I'm a person most of the time when people tell me they're ill, because most of the time when people have incidents, it's nothing. Mm-hmm. It rarely amounts to anything. So I thought, okay, well, he's probably got, it's probably just stress induced.
Stress or anxiety, who knows? Right.
Okay.
So the following week, there were continued episodes, I would say, additional, more frequent episodes that would take place.
Okay.
And there were probably more episodes where I would become lightheaded, never passing out. So
I know I always saw you hitting that button. You were tapping the button.
There were thousands of episodes recorded over that 1 week span.
Wait, by the way, what happened to the heart monitor?
It got, I gave it back to the cardiologist and he looked at it, and it's, at this point, it doesn't matter. Because they already know what it is. Big reveal coming through soon after the break. That's how you do a tease and people insert the ad read. So so we were out walking Sunday afternoon, went for a nice little walk.
We did good 45-minute round trip walk.
And I had some episodes during the walk as well. But then we went to the park and let KJ run around a little bit, and KJ was running up and down the hill, and he had walked past me, and I was sitting in that kind of on a step. And that's where I tried to stood up to go get him. Didn't make it to my feet because I lost consciousness.
I was there.
You were there, fell back to my butt.
Yeah.
Fortunately didn't hit my head or anything like that, but regained consciousness a few seconds later. And clearly knew something was wrong because I knew I had passed out.
Yeah. You went to get up. You couldn't make it all the way up. You grabbed a chair on the way back, and then you fall onto this step, and you're in like seated position. And yeah, your face went like a little blank, and then your legs went a little stiff. And I was like, okay, oh boy. So, we sat there for a second.
Got our bearings.
Got up. I mean, at this point, I knew we were going into the ER. So you call your cardiologist. Obviously, he says you got to go into the ER. We go into the ER. By the way, we have to think, I'm actually impressed at how good Cedars is.
Yeah, 5 stars.
Right. For a massive hospital, like they're right on it. Like they were, I mean, they have a lot of experience.
They were right on it. But so we go to the ER at Cedars.
We wait for 6 hours like everybody does.
We made sure that, we go to KJ. Yeah, made sure KJ was covered. But we go to Cedars. I know right away that this is I knew this is right away. This is an issue because of how quickly they moved me through the system.
Yes. Well, heart stuff, obviously they take very serious because they're probably worried you're having a heart attack.
Well, heart stuff and, being of relatively of young age and in good health. So they move us, they go through, get all the tests done. They get us to a hospital bed, not a hospital bed, but like an ER bed. Well, I can't close the door on them. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Sorry. Try not to mess around with the audio.
We're recording this. KJ is with us, and he's just hi, sweetie. You can be on the podcast. He's just in the other room and he's watching Coco Melon, right? So we can record a podcast, but we're in the podcast studio. So Dan wants to shut the door. So
he knows how to open doors.
He can by himself. You have to see him.
Anyway. So they get us into the ER, and they're trying to run an EKG, and bear in mind, my medical knowledge is limited to reruns of ER. On whatever streaming network. So my understanding with the EKG is that it measures a snapshot in time, but you have to press the button to actually record it. It's not like constantly running.
Okay.
So they'd have this EKG on me, and they wouldn't be able to capture the flutter.
Got it.
And so I finally told the nurses, I said, I can tell you when it's going to happen.
Right.
It's like a magic trick. I could say, here it comes. So I said, just leave the EKG attached to me, and I will tell you when it's about to happen. And then someone can run and push the button.
Yeah.
And that's what they did. So they were able to capture it. They were generally just surprised, confused by everything that was going on. So they wanted to get me into
stress eating. I've gained so much weight in the past week.
Pretty certain the story here is about me for the next few minutes before we talk about you.
So fat. Go on.
So